Good afternoon, everyone. It is 6 p.m. This is Thursday, April 8th, 2021. Part of order, the Mercedes Independent School District Special Meeting of the Board of Trustees. Let it be noted that we have a quorum. We have Vice President Mr. Martinez, Secretary Ms. Delgado, Ms. Trevino, Mr. Garza, Mr. Costa, Mr. Howe, and myself. And of course, our superintendent. Moving along on the agenda, we're going to go ahead and follow with pledge allegiance by Trustee Mr. Garza, invocation by Ms. Trevino.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, I ask for you tonight to be with us. I ask you to join us in prayer. I ask you to help us make the right decision for our students, our staff, and our parents, and our community. We know that this is going to be a stressful meeting. We ask you to give us the wisdom and the strength to make the right decision. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Okay, we're moving along with the open forum public comment. 6 people. Okay, so you have time, right, Tom? Okay, before we proceed, let me just go read out the actual public comment, the introduction, please. The next item on the agenda is open forum for public comment. Before we begin, I will remind our audience, members of the board's procedures handling public comment. The public comment portion of our meeting is available to members of the public who wish to address the agenda items to be considered by the board on today's agenda. Anyone who wants to speak during the public comments must sign in prior to the start of the meeting and list the agenda item you want to discuss. Each public comment speaker will be allowed a maximum of 5 minutes to address the board. However, any public testimony speaker who requires a translator will receive up to 10 minutes to address the board. The public comment portion of the meeting will allow all speakers who have signed up before the start of the meeting to address the board regarding an item on tonight's agenda. Please keep your comments, records, and civil and disciplinary courteous. Please also avoid using profanity and refrain from making personal attacks on others during your opportunity to speak. Last, we ask that you do not discuss students who are not your own child. If a speaker is seeking board resolution of a specific complaint, that concern should be addressed with district grievance process. District policy, EGBA, has been established for addressing employees' complaints. Policy FNG is the avenue for filing current complaints, and policy GF addresses community member complaints. Grievance forms can be obtained at any campus administration office or in the central administration office. Okay, so first speaker, please.
First speaker, Secretary Danya Thomas, will be speaking on item A.
Welcome, Mr. Summers.
Hi, my name is Dalia Gonzalez. I'm a taxpayer for Mercedes. I am here to address action agenda item A. I have 2 questions. My family and I would want to know from each board member, why was this item placed on the agenda. To reorganize the Board of Trustees. My second question is to consider, if you consider this a form of retaliation since our superintendent is placed on the agenda. We, the citizens of Mercedes, demand answers to this. And Mr. Hernandez and Mr. Martinez, they've been doing a good job, and I feel that it's some form of retaliation.
Take it up.
Next person signed is Jaime Castañeda.
Welcome, Mr. Castaneda.
Hi, my name is Jaime Castañeda. I'm here to address multiple concerns. The first one is the way they handled the situation with Coach David Reyes, a former employee.
No, excuse me, we can't use, names, sir.
He's not an employee anymore, sir.
Tony, do you have some clarity
We
on
need to stick to the actual items
that? On the agenda, sir.
He signed up for action items
Okay,
A and B,
great. Then I'll change it.
and executive session B.
Then that's fine. No, I signed up for executive action, agenda A and B, and executive session C. Right.
You will be.
What? The whole point is that I'm here to address some stuff, and I am here to advocate for the students of Mercedes ISD. To begin with, superintendent, one school board member, assistant superintendent, human resources, have tried to suppress my voice and my concerns. They have actually hired a law firm to try to sue me. And this is what I do with your concerns, because I'm here for the students. You're not gonna suppress my voice. You're not gonna intimidate me. Take me to court for all you want, but the most important are the students. And 2 school board members, females, have retaliated against other school board members, which is a sad situation. Como no son los hijos de ustedes, les vale. Les vale. Put yourself in that other situation out there. She's hurting right now. She's crying right now. But you all don't care. It's all about protecting superintendent. Let's make sure she's still here. When she did a poor job addressing the situation. When she hid information, when she knew all along what was going on, when she knew there was a conflict of interest, knowing the fact that the director of human resources was sister-in-law to the individual. I believe actions should take place. I believe she should be removed today and even fired today. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Martinez.
Ms. Laura Alvarado.
Thank you so much, Ms. Martinez. Hello, Ms. Alvarado, and welcome.
My name is Laura Alvarado. I am a citizen and taxpayer of the city of Mercedes. My first item to discuss is the reorganization of the officers and board of trustees. My concern too is what is the urgency to rearrange the board? Is there something that has been done? Is there something that needs to be said? I mean, is it because a certain person is going to be leaving? I mean, whatever it is. I just want to know what is the urgency about rearranging the board. Okay. My second item is, I was going to talk about B, but that included that. So I'm going to go to the executive. Now, Mr. Contreras was discussing the issue with the current situation that's happening with the school. I can contest to that and say my daughter not necessarily was one of those girls, but there was a situation with the principal of Sergeant Harold Middle School and that certain person. The issue was a workout video was put on my daughter's Google Classroom when she was on virtual learning at that time in September of last year. I opened the video and it's a grown man, no shirt, tight pants, doing exercises that shows the outline of his genitalia. Now I brought the situation up, I sent a message to that teacher at the time. Nothing was done. I called Mr. Principal at Sergeant Harrell, and he basically said that he'll talk to that person and that they will figure out what to do. And then I got a call 2 days after that, and the principal had said that they were going to take the video down because it was inappropriate. Now, my daughter is, at that time, was 12 years old. She's special needs. She doesn't understand the physics of a man or a woman yet. Now, for a special needs child, of all things, even a child in general, to see something like that and then say, okay, you know, is it appropriate or is it not? And it was not appropriate for that, for her age or anybody at that point. So to this day, the video has not been took down. It's still on the virtual classroom. I don't know if it was sent to other students or not, but it's on my daughter's. Now, with this whole situation that's happening with Sergeant Harrell Middle School, as a parent, I have to sit my daughter down and talk to her about what's going on because she was one of his students. For a mother, that's hell. Having tried to explain to your child what happened at that school. Nobody should go through that. Not a child, not a parent. And it upsets me because, for one, the principal did not take it any further. He didn't say, okay, let's figure out what's really going on, what's really happening. And that upsets me. And it's not only my son, there's things happening with my son, which it's not in here. But for me to have to sit my now 13-year-old daughter down with special needs with autism and ask her if her teacher touched her, that's so not fair. It's not fair to her, it's not fair to me, it's not fair to any parent that has to tell their child or talk to their child about that. And for people to hide it and not say nothing and not do nothing, it doesn't mean nothing to me. I have no faith in the school district anymore. And it shouldn't be that way. Not for me, not for nobody. You guys need to get your shit straight.
That was not.
Understand where I'm coming from. You need to get your guys' district straight. Because if this continues, I will pull my kids out of this district. And if I have to move, I will. This should not have happened. This should have been reported when it happened.
Thank you, Ms. Oro.
Next is Mr. Don Vogel.
Welcome, Mr. Vogel. Sorry.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Don Vogel. It's been a while since I've been in this setting. Good to see y'all. Thank you to the school board superintendent for allowing me to speak this evening. I'm speaking in connection with items items C and D and E in the executive session. This really concerns me because at this time and stage of the school year, to make a major change like this in administration is very, very critical for the students, staff, and the whole community. Because there's testing is going on, and we've been under the gun on this COVID situation, and I think that the student education and welfare is not being addressed and being taken care of. And then you go to discuss items like this. I don't know what's going on all this investigation, but that's up to, I don't think that that's up to necessarily to the school board. That's up to the superintendent and the proper law authorities to do this investigation. And they take action, because that would be an independent party. And so we gotta, whoever's gonna do the investigating and everything that might, that this all might be related to, is very important to have someone that is fair and impartial and that doesn't have an agenda. But there's too many things that are going on that it's not in the best interest of the students. I know that there's board members that have an agenda. If you come into the board and you get elected to the board and you got an agenda against somebody in the district or on the board, you're doing it for the wrong job. You're here for the students and the students' welfare. You're not here for your personal feelings and your compadre's personal feelings and the other compadre and your other friends and other friends. Hey, we need to do this. I don't like this person because of that. I don't like this person because of that. That's all hearsay, and that is not the role of being a board member. That is, and all of this social media that's being used today, sorry to say, to me it all ought to be put in the trash can, because it started out as being a fun deal, and it's turned into be a very serious and very malicious. I know firsthand, got a granddaughter that went through being bullied, and social media is the main part of it. To me, there should not be any telephones on students on campus. To me, all of those phones need to be taken and put away during class time, and at the end of the day, the phones are given back to the students, and it would cut out some of this stuff. But that goes also for what's going on in executive session. Information is coming out in executive session. We had that before when I was on the board. Today it's even worse. I think to me, this is being a Judas. And they're doing more harm than benefit. They think they're doing benefit by bringing out what was discussed in the executive session. This is not appropriate. Would you want to know what the conversation that you have with a family member or so be put in social media? No, none of you want that. And it comes back to the golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And think about this, because that's the thing that's going on today, and that is destroying this country, and it's destroying the school district, and it affects a lot of people. Number one, it affects the students and the student performance, because the administration and everything is being distracted because of this. As a result of this, if the time is being concentrated on this and the cost of doing this,
Mr. Vogel.
how are we going to
Sorry,
survive?
sir, but time elapsed.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Lawrence Sedler.
Mr. Sedna, welcome, sir.
Good evening. Insofar as items A and B on tonight's agenda, I just question the need for that at this time, and I'm just wondering if it's not going to set a precedent for future where a given inclination is going to prompt people to reorganize the board. That's out of my hands, but I just hope that you guys come to some agreement and stick to that agreement for the term of the year. On the other matter, from the onset of selecting a new superintendent and under the circumstances this district was in at the time, I was one of many that did not support the selection of someone with no superintendent experience, and especially in the area of financing. Over time, I have been pleasantly impressed with our superintendent. She has elevated the standards of academic achievement and has been managing our finances as best under the constraints and limited resources she has available to her. She has maintained an open door policy and has welcomed numerous discussions with me regarding areas of concern with the district, and we have even collaborated on some projects for improving the image and standards for the district. I believe she is in support of overall accountability of district personnel and school administrators in order to be the best they can be. We do not always agree, but we choose to agree to disagree in order to maintain a continued and amicable relationship. Having said that, though, there is still one area that remains challenging for her and this board, and that is the ability to be transparent with the public. There is still a sense of a confidentiality and secrecy with the citizens of Mercedes. Because of this, the only venue to exchange and seek answers to questions that are concerning to us is the rumor mill, the gossiping, the hearsay. There are currently many questions and areas of concern to many citizens of Mercedes. Perhaps you are familiar with them. I cannot escape them because they are circulating the city like wildfire. I admit I cannot confirm these allegations to be true, but they are apparently concerning to the public. I do believe we deserve and have the right to seek answers, and rest assured the district's conducted a timely and proper investigation of the matter at hand. Personally, I believe in the inherent due process of the public school system. Based on my educational experience, I'm assuming the district followed all the procedures established to avoid any discretions and legal violations and disputes. Furthermore, any and all actions taken by the district were brought forth to the district's attorney and in compliance with professional expectations. The teacher coach matter is following an established procedure of investigation by proper authorities. At some point, perhaps, he was suspended from his duties to ensure an investigation without obstruction or influence from his presence. Additionally, allegations of improper behaviors would be temporarily absent while the district conducted its preliminary investigation. If there are doubts and questions regarding the superintendent's conduct of professional judgment and actions, the question should be, is a suspension necessary to ensure the same safeguards as with the teacher coach? The citizens of Mercedes are not dumb and ignorant and still have a vivid memory of how the previous superintendent's conduct was mishandled. The last elections demonstrated that. Our eyes and trust are upon you. We hope you do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Welcome, Ms. Sandoval.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Do I have to go? Maybe best if you can, Ms. Sandoval. There you go. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, Mrs. Mendiola, Mr. Board President, and members of the board. My name is Silvia Sandoval, and I am here this evening as a concerned member of this community. I know there are issues or situations that we, the public, have no right to have knowledge of, but that doesn't mean that matters are not addressed. Yes, your number one priority is the students, and to reassure parents and children are safe at Mercedes ISD. In my opinion, blaming one individual because one may have personal hidden agendas and one their friends or their compadres to take over certain positions is a corrupted and dishonest board member. As a superintendent, there are certain steps he or she must take to correct, reprimand, or even fire an employee. To a parent, this may feel like an eternity. But in order to do things right, the law must be abided or cases may be thrown out of court. What are you as a board showing our students? That the only way to solve problems is to show your power? Our students are more than enough. Our students see more than enough negativity, corruption, betrayal, unfairness, and peer pressure. Why don't you, the adults, be the examples? Be role models and help our students learn how to survive in a society that is harming one another. That is hurting one another. It has been brought to my attention that someone is possibly being compensated by one or two of you to destroy the reputation of certain people. Is this the type of education you want our students to learn? Or do you want them to learn to be able to come forth when someone is causing them harm? There has been a lot of negative publicity on social media about how Mercedes ISD administrators don't care about the students because they cover up. Nothing could be further from the truth. Thanks to Mrs. Mendiola, school administrators, and the law enforcement authorities, sensitive situations that are harmful to the students are taken care of when brought to their attention. As parents, you want answers immediately, and rightfully so, but because of protocols, there is a process to be followed, and time becomes an issue. That does not mean that administration doesn't care about the students. The superintendent of this district has been the best thing that has happened to Mercedes ISD in a very long time. There have been changes made by her to improve what's in the best interest for the students and staff. Some of these changes may not be to your liking, but she has to have the opportunity to do her job. Mercedes ISD has come a long way since her becoming superintendent. Having seen firsthand, I know she cares and will do everything in her power to protect the students of Mercedes ISD. You may not agree with how she might have handled certain issues or situations, but it's not your job to do her job. Yes, you're in that seat to oversee that things are done to help matters be corrected, but not to add fuel to the fire. By your actions, the only thing that may happen is that you will cause Mercedes ISD to regress instead of continuing to progress and show our students that the only way to solve problems is through hostility, disrespect, and animosity. According to the following quote in yesterday's Monitor, 2 board members, they asked for a special meeting with those particular items. I'm just following school policy. Says that they have concern and I'm board president. It's my solemn obligation to, if I see the validity of it according to policy, I can call a special meeting, he said. So having read that article, even the board president does not believe Mrs. Mendiola should be placed on leave. If he did have a solemn obligation to the students, he would have placed that item on the agenda himself before those 2 board members brought it to his attention. Because the board president can't put items on the agenda without a first and second motion. A small tidbit to the new board members, Mrs. Delgado, Mr. Howell, and Mr.
Thank you, Mr.
Ramirez. She was not hired by Mr. Rio.
It's on the line. Please, come on, guys. Please, come on, guys. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much for the comments, very appreciate that. Moving on with the action agenda. A, discussion and possible action to reorganize the office of the board of trustees, requested by the board member Rachel Trevino and board member Lucy Delgado. Just a couple of comments real quick. I know there was some articles up on the monitor, and I gotta commend the board. We kept it within the family, so I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I guess my second point is that there was a conversation, of course, and like I said, I make it a policy, so, and it's in the policy as well, right? That I listened to two board members, and you want to have a worksheet school board. That's my call, absolutely. And I said, sure. Now, the next point I want to say is that Rachel Trevino and Mr. Legal can verify this with attorney. This item, A, was not timely. I could have easily just picked it out and said, we're gonna go to the regular board meeting, and we'll have a discussion. Again, I'm impartial. My job as board president is to be impartial. If there's a concern, and I see it, like I said it, if there's a validity to it, we're gonna go ahead and have a special board meeting. And I respected the item placed on the agenda. Again, let me re-emphasize that. Because I could have easily played politics, and I could have easily said, no, it's late, let's get, we can see it later on. But that's who I am. I'm impartial. I need to hear them out. Because you know what? I have steadfast. You can look at my record since I was 25 years old. The travesty of previous administrations that caused so much harm in the financial, the schools, the buildings. So no one in here, in this room, can go there and question my credit, my integrity. And my point I want to say too is we've gone so far with some really strong leadership. But I'm not going to waver. There's going to be some wild accusations in the community. And I'm going to steadfast again. As a teacher, an advocate for the kids, I will not step down to my principles. Okay, if the board wishes to replace me, that's fine. That's the wishes of the board. But my point also is this. Board president, all he does is put items on the agenda, he works with the superintendent to make the agenda, he organizes the board, that's about it. I'm not going away. I'm still gonna be here, I'm gonna be advocate for the students, I'm gonna be advocate for the staff. I've always looked out for the best interests of the students and the staff. Now, someone placed here ethics for school board members. This is how they treat me. This is how they treat a teacher of 30 years, tutor, little league, being out for the kids that don't have a dad or mom, but they're at the house and I'm playing football with them. This is the thanks that they give. Doing the right thing, being impartial. Guys, this is what we got to. And I refuse to go back where board members were cutting the grass of the superintendent, going to pachangas, going to softball games, socializing. We have trainings. They told us, do not be fraternizing with the superintendent because you're going to show partial favoritism. You know, it's interesting. If you look at your psychology theory, the same people are going to try to assassinate your character because they themselves do it. The people that criticize people about having adultery, relationships, because they themselves are doing it. That's what they're going to do for you. But you know what? I'm used to all this. Our Lady of Mercy, there were church members there that wouldn't shake my hand. And someone won't still not shake my hand. But 43 days on the fund balance speaks volumes. And it wasn't just Mr. Hernandez, it was a team of 8. We have high expectations. we have new curriculum, where our bond rating went up. You know, our facility's been addressed. You know, as a board member, I make precedents. I invited Ms. Delgado, Mr. Martinez, to sit with Ms. Delgado and discuss any issues that we have. Ms. Delgado told me last month, I've never seen anything like that. It's remarkable. You're doing a great job, Oscar. And this is the thanks I get.
Wow. Sad.
Everybody knows where I live. Everybody has my phone number. I'm willing to listen. But this is embarrassment that you brought it to a teacher for 30 years. No write-ups. Outstanding performance on the stars. No particular chisme gossip. Because I chose Mercedes. Why? Because it's an awesome community. It's Tiger Pride. The proof is in the pudding. My children are an example of that. You guys, the community, the staff, the child, that you guys looked out for her. When Elena was walking down down the street by herself, right away you guys called. You know, that's the type of community that I want. And you know what? I don't apologize. I will not apologize for looking out the best interest of the community and placing high expectations. We lost 1,000 children, 1,000 students in 5 years. And here we're at. This is where we're at right now. Reorganization of the board. So I'm going to warn the next board president, please learn from my mistakes. But don't fall away and become a stooge of some of the other board members. You can't do that. That's all I have to say. I guess we follow up with discussion.
Mr. Chairman? Yes, if it's okay, I would like to make a statement.
Sure.
Right? So we have to see my hands. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It has been 5 months since I took an oath to represent Mercedes ISD as a school board trustee. Believe me when I say I do not make light of this accomplishment and honor. In preparation for this meeting, I wanted to carefully write my statement and convey clearly to all of you my decision for this request. The handout I provided is a copy from the TASB website titled Ethics for School Board Members. It fits right in with my message to you today. All these items are important. However, I would like to read 3 of those for public information. Trustworthiness in stewardship. I will be accountable to the public by representing district policies, programs, priorities, and progress accurately. I will be responsive to the community by seeking its involvement in district affairs and by communicating its priorities and concerns. I will work to ensure prudent and accountable use of district resources. I will make no personal promise or take private action that may compromise my performance of my responsibilities. The next item is honor in conduct. I will tell the truth. I will share my views while working for consensus. I will respect the majority decision as a decision of the board. I will base my decisions on fact rather than supposition, opinion, or public favor. Integrity of character. I will refuse to surrender judgment to any individual or group at the expense of the district as a whole. I will consistently uphold all applicable laws, rules, policies, and governance procedures. I will keep confidential information that is privileged by law or that will needlessly harm the district if discussed. As per these items, there has been behavior and actions taken that I feel are contradictory to our code of ethics. For these reasons, I support the reorganization of the school board officers. My message today is simple. I feel we have not represented Mercedes ISD in its best interest. Some actions taken thus far
only demonstrate strong personal and political agendas. We have all been in this room and we know what has transpired in the last few months, both in open and closed session. The lack of confidentiality, trust, order, and respect during our meetings and outside are affecting the manner in which we conduct all decisions for our district. Our credibility and effectiveness as Board of Trustees is in question this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, we are a team of 8. We have asked our community to place their trust in us by electing us to these positions. In return, it is our responsibility to be strong advocates for our students, parents, district employees, and serve our obligations to Mercedes ISD in the very best capacity. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Segal. Questions?
I would like to,
Sure.
this has been, when I first decided to run, I wanted to make sure that I was gonna do things right. I've been a teacher for 29 years here at this same school district, at the same school at Chapon Middle School. And I've seen a lot of stuff. And one of the things that, when I decided to go ahead and run, was I'm not gonna worry about anybody else. I was not gonna go ahead and be friends. I was not looking to be friends with people on school board or with the superintendent. My thing was I was gonna do it right no matter what. I was gonna go ahead and make sure that I did what was right for the students, what was right for the employees, and for Mercedes ISD. And I'm not looking to go out to go drinking with other people for any of that stuff. My thing was, I'm gonna do what is right. And everything is based for what's best for our kids, our staff, and for Mercedes ISD. And if I'm gonna have people go ahead and retaliate against me because I put it on the agenda, I didn't hesitate. I put it on, and Oscar, I appreciate you putting it on the agenda with my name. I had no restraint whatsoever. And Eddie, for seconding the motion, I appreciate it. You know, because I strongly feel about this. And if I get removed from office, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not gonna change not one thing. I'm still gonna be the same person I am. I'm still gonna stand up for all these students, for all these employees, and make this the best Mercedes ISD we've ever had here, no matter what. And I strongly do not believe in favoritism, and I stand strongly behind that.
Any discussion? Anything else? Sure, Mr. Dubois.
Many situations have occurred since the election back in November 2020. Many things have been said and done both in open and closed session that concern me. I know that it is the perception that this item was placed on the agenda because we are retaliating against some board members. Nothing is further from the truth. Putting this item on the agenda is more of trust and confidentiality. We are supposed to be a team of 8. And in open session, that is what you lead people to believe. But that is not the case. We do not operate as a team of 8. We need to gain the trust and stop feeding lies and fueling political agendas. This just needs to stop. You know, it wasn't easy putting this item on the agenda or setting it up. We knew what it was going to cost. We knew that there was going to be a repercussion. We knew about what was going to be put out there. But we did it anyway because we feel that it needed to be done. Now, whether the rest of the board agrees or not, you know, it's up to the board. And we'll respect that. But, you know, I can only speak for myself, but I'm not just gonna sit back and allow this to continue. Because we do talk about being a team of 8, and that's not what's happening. There's a lot of things that happen that we don't even know what's going on until the day of the meeting. And there's been times that I've reached out through email to certain board members, or a certain board member, and I don't even get a response back. You know, and that's happened several times. I always have to wonder what's gonna come next. And that's not right, and the public doesn't know that. The public only knows what's being said. You know, you get a group of people and you tell them that the district there's something wrong with the district. You point out who is to blame for it. And because nobody else speaks, because we don't want to tarnish other board members or other situations, or we can't talk about it because it's in closed session, we keep quiet. But there are two sides to every story. And a lot of the times, ladies and gentlemen, because things happen in closed sessions, we cannot say anything. But it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. A lot of things get leaked out. And of course, every one of us says it wasn't us. How else does it get leaked out? You know, that's not what we were elected for. We weren't elected to do these kinds of things. We were here for the children, and we were on the right track. And then all of a sudden, you know, I'll be the first to say that if Ms. Mendiola did something wrong, if any employee did something wrong, then they should be held accountable. It has nothing to do, well, we care, or we're her best friend and we're trying to cover up for her. No way. I'm a mother of 4 children. I would not do that. But for people to say that on social media, that is absurd. But because we don't go out and say anything, we just kind of eat it up because that's what we're supposed to do. We just let people think what they want. You know, statements should have been made about this, and instead, people were adding fuel to the fire. We talk about the children. We talk about the parents. Well, I understand because I have children and I am a parent. How do we know that some of these children don't want this to leak out? They want to hold it in, or not hold it in, but they want to handle it on their own. And we're throwing these things out there. You don't think it's embarrassing for them? The way it's being put out there? I thought we cared about the children. That's not the right way to do it, guys. There's a way to do everything. We don't have to be exposing people just because we don't get what we want. And that's what this is all about. We talk about compadrismo, we talk about doing favors, and we're a team of 8, and guys, who are we trying to fool? That's not what's happening here.
Thank you, Mr. Yamkiwa. Fellow board members, I just want to say that Mr. Hernandez has been doing a good job, and I had gotten some calls with some concerns, and I had some concerns of my own, and I felt that these concerns needed to be addressed, and like he mentioned, I seconded it because it was something that was very important that we needed to discuss, and all Oscar did was do his job, just like any of you guys would have. If a board member comes to you guys and says, hey, there's some concerns out there that need to be addressed, you guys would do the same thing. So, I don't know why you guys are taking it out on the president. So, I just want to put it out there that, you know, he did the right thing. He was only doing his job, and you guys are, you know, putting him under the gun when he was just doing his job. Thank you, Mr. Cole. Any discussion, guys? Well, since these are kind of severe accusations, may I have the time to rebuttal? Evidently, these are the charges. That's okay. Okay, first point, Mr. God, with the greatest respect, I respect it and I'm still gonna respect it. And you were with Mr. Martinez, myself, Ms. Mendiola. Couldn't you ever bring this up to the officer, Mr. Martinez? I thought we were a team of eight. I thought we could share this where it belongs, in executive session. You just show the old public that we don't know temperance. We don't know the term of temperance. We are showing third world politics. We throw everything in front and say, let's get down with the president. And here comes the military. Really? You come in here and you want to talk team of eight? This is shameful. Mr. Vino, you throwing up social media, now, that email, and this is public information, this is not an executive session. That has nothing to do with the school district. I refuse to address that because you know what? I've said it time again. Like a gentleman out of great wisdom, has the greatest respect for this individual. He says that should go out in the trash. How many times have my family has suffered from the trash of social media? How many times they busted the windows and shot out the daycare? Is this what we got to? This is the point we got to? But we stay fast. Because you know what? We believe in Mercedes. I still believe in Mercedes. We don't have time for this. They're taking our students away. We're losing our funding. And this is the lady's response. Mr. Vino wants to talk about social media and some individual that's, you know what? Don't let them live rent free in their brain. That's what I say. Don't waver. You empowering him or her, whoever puts this up in the, they're going to say whatever they want. You're letting him or her live rent free in your brain. So I lose my office because I refuse to respond to social media.
Right.
Please come on, guys. So be it. If the board wishes to dismiss me, like I said before, it doesn't bother me. I'm still going to be a student. I'm going to be an advocate for the student. I'm going to be an advocate for the staff. Because I'm going to believe in Mercedes. I'm not going to be bitter. I'm not going to be upset. But they come in here and they talk about team of eight. Put it on the agenda and let me have it. Not these wild accusations of, because I didn't address social media. Well, that's all I have to say. If you have any rebuttals, and you know what, if you dismiss me, guys, it was a great honor. It was a privilege. It's a learning experience, and I hope for the new board president that you learn from my mistakes. But let me give you some stark statistics. The 3 board presidents, the incumbents, lost their elections. Just think about that. I'm going to lose the president, so that proves that I won't lose an election. I'm no longer going to be the board president. That's why rebuttal. Anybody have any closing comments?
I did, sir. Actually, I have a rebuttal.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Mr. Hernandez, I am a new school board member, 5 months. You have been here for so many years. I don't have to bring this up to anyone's attention. If we were doing what we're supposed to be doing, we should know this by now. And we should be living it. We should be expressing it every time we have a meeting, every time we communicate with each other. This is by no means directed directly at you. It was just, there were some ways to describe what was going on. I had to find a way to say, this is unacceptable. And like I said, we've all been in this room and we've in closed sessions and out of sessions, And we know how the behavior has been. It has been disruptive behavior, verbal attacks. We're not getting anywhere. We are not moving forward as a team of 8.
Okay.
Thank you.
Fair enough, Mr. Hill. Like I said, Ms. DeVille, again, I just wish that the concerns would have been up front. Okay, you would have been, within the meetings. You could have brought it up to Mr. Martinez, you could have brought it up to Mr. Hernandez. I mean, the public is, they're not naive. I mean, they know the facts. I mean, and that's why I want to emphasize, the board presidents don't lie. I mean, take your opinions, take your comments, but for the new board president, just be aware of that, okay? And, it's really embarrassing that you would make some wild accusations, because basically that's why I'm being dismissed. Where's the proof? You know, I thought in America that you would have at least a trial. This is just literally jury, right? Judge and executioner. Not even a chance. You know why? Because I stood up for Mercedes, for the students, and for the staff. Because I have high expectations. I want to save money for the school. I want to save the jobs of our employees. And this is what happened. But I'm not going over.
I'd like to motion
If I could,
that.
I think that is the goal of everyone, not I. It's a team, and nobody wants to have our students not succeed. Nobody wants our students not to be protected by staff. Nobody wants employees to lose their jobs, and we want to protect and progress the district. So I just want to state that on the record that it's not I think as a team, everybody wants it. So for that, we'll be on the record.
Thank you, Mr. Rosberg.
I'd like to motion that we do not reorganize the officers. Can we get a second?
Well, can I ask real quick? Any more discussion?
I have a comment.
No, I'm sorry. This is a business meeting, and we have to have a deliberation within the board. But thank you, ma'am. Okay, so we have a motion for Mr. Howell. Go ahead, sir. And it is?
Not to reorganize the board.
Okay, we have a
The officers,
motion. We have a motion to, I guess, not to reorganize. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I have a second.
Second.
Okay, we have a second. Any discussion?
I have a motion to continue with the reorganization.
Okay, we have one motion, correct?
Right.
We need to vote on that, right?
Motion is a second to not reorganize, got to vote on that.
Okay. So so we're gonna vote on that one first? Okay. Okay, so any discussion, guys?
I think it's critical that we come together tonight, guys. For the sake of the district, the students, we have to come together tonight. We can't leave this meeting tonight without coming together as a unit.
Thank you, Mr. Howell. Any more discussion? Okay, so we have a motion by Mr. Howell, a second by Mr. Martinez. All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
Nay. Those opposed by saying nay?
Negative.
Okay. The motion does not pass, so may I entertain another motion?
I make the motion that, nominate.
No, yeah,
We have to,
yeah, it has to, the reorganization has to pass before nomination.
Okay, I make a motion that we reorganize.
okay, we have a motion from Mr. Costa, can I have a second?
Second.
We have a second from Ms. Reno, any discussion? Oh, Mrs. Howell, okay, any discussion? Okay, there's no more discussion, go ahead and vote by saying aye. All in favor by saying aye? Sorry.
Aye.
So we have Mr. Costa, Mr. Garza, Mr. and Mr. Val. All opposed? Okay, so it's 4-3, the motion passes. Okay. we are going on to the next item on the action agenda, D. The reorganization of the board of officers, if approved via item A. 1A, the president. Okay. Open up for nomination for president. Okay, we have a motion for, guys, come on, guys. Please, come on, guys. That's a fair warning, guys, that's it. Come on, one more and out, come on. Please. Okay, we have a nomination for, Mr. Vino.
I second the motion.
Okay, Mr. Val, second. Okay, any more nominations for board president? Okay, nomination for Mr. Ortiz, do I have a second on that one? Do I have a second for Mr. Hernandez for president?
Second.
All right, so, do we have a discussion or that's it, we go straight up to vote? Yeah, we go straight up to vote. Okay, so we have a nomination for Mr. Vino. All in favor by saying aye?
Aye.
Okay, we have 4. Okay, anybody opposed? So, 4-3, okay, so, basically by default, congratulations, Mr. Vino, you are, board president.
Wow. That's a great.
I think there's already been one warning, so if this continues, we will have to remove the individual who continues to make outbursts.
Okay, I'd like to continue with the nominations, if you could, would that be okay? Next on the agenda is item 1B, Vice President. I would like to entertain a motion for Vice President, please. I'm sorry, entertain a nomination for Vice President.
Mr. Ray, I nominate Mr. Brian Acosta for Vice President.
Mr. Acosta, do you accept, sir? Do I have a second? Do we have any further discussion? No, so sorry, I'm gonna do something here, okay. Do we have, any other nominations?
Chairman, I nominate, Mr. Martinez for vice president.
I second.
At this time, we have 2 nominations for vice president. We have Mr. Martinez and Mr. Acosta. Tony, now at this point,
Chairman, I make a motion to close, all nominations, please.
okay, thank you, Mr. Hernandez. At this time, for Mr. Acosta for vice president, you can please show us, raise your hands, please. That will be myself, Mr. Delgado, Mr. Garza, and Mr. Acosta, that will be 4. Any votes for Mr. Martinez, please raise your hands.
Well, we have to vote.
I'm sorry,
We have to
do
vote.
we have to oppose?
That's the way we started the process.
So we should read it like that, okay? Any opposed to Mr. Acosta? Just 3? 4-3? So now, Tony, so by default, okay? So by default, Mr. Acosta, you will be our vice president. Next on the agenda is item 1C for secretary. I would like to entertain a nomination, please, for secretary.
to nominate, Ms. Lucinda for secretary.
Mr. Duffy, you accept Mr. Lalo?
Yes, I do.
Is there any other, or, sorry, you have to second a motion, Tony? For that? No? Okay, is there a second? Mr. Garza? Okay, are there any other nominations for secretary? No? Do we need to vote on that, there is a nomination, secretary? Okay, since there are no other nominations, Mr. Lalo, you are secretary. Okay, next on the agenda is the executive session. If during the course of this meeting, discussion of any item on the agenda should be held in closed meeting, the board will conduct a closed meeting in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551, Subchapters B and E. The board may consult legal counsel on a matter discussed in executive session pursuant to Section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code. A, personnel pursuant to Section 551.074 of the Texas Government Code and attorney consultation pursuant to Section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code. A1, resignations, terminations, appointments, evaluations, the assignment duties and discipline of personnel, paraprofessionals, and non-contract employees, teacher substitutes and substitutes for maintenance, transportation, and cafeteria department. B, personnel and superintendent employment status pursuant to Section 551.074 of the Texas Government Code and attorney consultation pursuant to Section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code. C, discussion and consideration of placing superintendent on paid administrative leave, Section 551.074 and 551.071 of the Texas Government Code. D, discussion and consideration of appointing interim superintendent or naming acting superintendent, Sections 551.074 and 551.071 of the Texas Government Code. E, discussion and consideration delegating of authority to negotiate interim or acting superintendent agreement, Sections 551.074 and 551.071 of the Texas Government Code. It is now 7:07, and this meeting is now in executive session.